Good morning, teachers and my students. Today, I feel rewarding to have a short dialogue with you on the topic an expansion of ideas. It comes in the section of writing skill, and we all know that writing is a productive skill. There are other forms of writing, and all the linguistic skills are tested in the written form. The other forms are précis writing. In précis writing, there is compression. We reduce the passage to one-third length, but keep the original meaning safe. On the other hand, there is elaboration in expansion. Expansion is opposite of précis writing. It is because précis comprises of compression and expansion elaboration. Secondly, there is a difference between essay writing, paragraph writing and expansion. In essay writing, there is impersonal approach, general approach, whereas in expansion, there is personal approach. Now, what are the topics for expansion? There are several topics. Proverb, maxim, quotation, slogan, popular idea. These are the topics. A proverb is based on truth and experience, and it is packed with wisdom. Maxim is a rule or it is a message. Quotation is a beautiful, meaningful line from poetry or literature. Slogan is a remarkable and an appealing statement made by some famous person who has rendered a human service in his field of work. Or there is some popular idea based on experience, based on observation. One of these is asked. Now, if you compare essay writing with expansion, you will get the concept of expansion. Say for example, if we write an essay on pollution, these are the steps we follow. We define what pollution is, we mention the types, we discuss, then we suggest remedial measures, and then we come to the conclusion. But the same topic, pollution, if it is to be asked in expansion, this will not be the title. It will be converted into some idea. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Indirectly, it is on pollution. But the steps are different. First, when you write expansion, you have to write the simple meaning of the given idea. Then its origin or source. Then you have to comment on it. Then you have to give proof or evidence. And then finally the message. These are the steps to be followed when you write expansion. Let us take one model example. Cleanliness is next to godliness is a popular idea. It emphasizes the importance of cleanliness. God is symbol of purity. God is symbol of cleanliness. Cleanliness is of two types. First, cleanliness of mind. Mind should be pure and clean. Pure and clean things are very close to God. And that's why cleanliness is associated to godliness. Clean mind is God's abode. Abode means the place where God lives. Then, cleanliness of place. Cleanliness creates heaven and happiness. Pristine air, fresh food, clean places, clean surrounding, everything. On the other hand, dirt creates hell and spreads diseases. Litter in public places, causing pollution, throwing garbage here and there, results into pollution. It is said, God dwells in clean minds and in clean places. And then you have to conclude saying cleanliness is another name of God. Let's take the second example. Slow and steady wins the race. It is a popular proverb. The simple meaning of this proverb is careful and steady work always bring impressive results. Origin of this proverb. It is in Thomas Tusser's work. First appeared in Aesop's fables in the 15th century BC. The proof. The evergreen Aesop's fable, namely the hare and the tortoise, the slow and steady tortoise wins the race. The hare, though faster, loses the race because the hare ignores the consistency of the tortoise. To achieve something in life, consistency, carefulness, cautiousness are necessary. The theme of the story is applicable to human life. A person should be cautious, careful and steady in his work like the tortoise in the story. Then he will win, he will achieve something in his life. All in all, a high moral value is conveyed in the story is slow and steady wins the race. There are many other proverbs. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. A thing which is certain is worth than a risk. Say for example, if a person catches a bird, he has a bird in his hand. It is certain. But if someone comes and reports him that there are two birds in the bush, or there are many birds in the bush, and if the person runs after the birds which are in the nest, not in his hand, then in an attempt to catch these two birds, the bird which he has already in his hand would fly away, and this way he will lose everything. The moral of this proverb is that a person should not run after uncertain things. You can give the human example. A person, if he invests something in one thing, he should take care of it. He should not run after the other things which are uncertain, because they will bring or cause the loss. Then let's take the example of another proverb. burn the candle at both ends. It means work hard or overwork to gain something, to achieve something in life, or to become someone in life. The origin of this proverb, first used in 1730. We know that candle has only one end, but this proverb says, burn the candle at both ends. How it is? In Shakespeare's time, there were candles of usage, and these candles had two ends. U-shaped candle, having two ends. The person would light this end and start working in the light of the candle. And we know candle melts, burns. So when this part of the candle would burn, melt, then he would light the another end and sitting for a long time, working hard. Symbolically, the two ends of the candle are regarded as the two ends of the day, the conclusion of one day and beginning of the next. Also, these two ends of the candle are regarded as the two ends of the day. Dawn and dusk. Dawn means early morning, dusk means evening. A person who works from dawn to dusk, from morning to evening, working very hard to achieve something. This is a symbolic meaning. There are quotations, there are slogans. Another proverb, united we stand, divided we fall. The meaning of this proverb is that unity leads to prosperity. It may be a country or a family. Unity is necessary for happiness. And this is reflected in three stories which we know. We all know the farmer and his four sons. The four sons were asked to break the bundle of sticks, and they could not. But when the sticks were separated, the sons could break the sticks easily. So this example emphasizes, proves that unity is necessary. The second story is a flock of birds was caught in a net. Each and every bird tried to fly, flap the wings and fly, but could not. But all the birds flew together unitedly along with the net. They went deep into the forest, landed down and freed themselves. This story also teaches the same moral. The origin of this proverb is observable in 6th century BC. This is important. The proverb is associated with the story of the crafty lion and the four bulls. The lion breaks the unity of the bulls and kills them. Here is the picture. The lion, four bulls, as long as they were living together, the lion was not able to attack and kill them. But he made a crafty trick, broke the unity of those bulls and attacked them separately, killed and devoured them. The proverb emphasizes the importance of unity. Then there are quotations, there are slogans. One example is there, beauty is truth, truth is beauty. Is a quotation. Emphasizes the importance of truth, importance of beauty. Slogan, the remarkable statement, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Is in appreciation of the soldiers who protect us and the farmers who feed us. Our Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri gave this slogan, the clean city, the green city. Importance of cleanliness, importance of planting trees, keeping the city green. Then some proverbs, stitching time saves nine. It means prompt action saves from further loss. We should not postpone our work. We should do our work in time. So it saves us from further loss. Then another proverb, cut your coat according to your cloth. In this proverb, the word coat refers to expenses and the word cloth refers to income. It means be economical, spend the money carefully, prepare a budget, a plan, and do savings for better future. This proverb highlights the importance of living within our income and not spend extravagantly. The topics are within the experience, so there is a personal approach in writing expansions. It requires a good study of proverbs, idioms, to write a precise expansion. If you make a collection of some proverbs and also translate them into your mother tongue to enhance your knowledge and write better expansions. So an expansion is a skillful writing. You have to write the meaning of the given idea, origin, source, comment on it, give proper evidence, and then say what the moral is. So this way, it requires a good study of proverbs, idioms, other ideas, based on experience, observation, experiment. If you do this, surely you can write expansion very effectively and very precisely. So, with this I conclude this topic. Thank you.